is I'm going to repost the link. Okay, anyone the link. Right. And then you've got the final access. Cool. So if you wish to review at any point, you can. That is now in the chat. Okay. That's it. All right.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Now, the next thing we're going to do is a brief PowerPoint presentation called Transition to University. And basically, it's to help it's to help you think about your movement from this course into your certificate. It probably will only take 10 minutes and then we'll move into the reading. Yeah, the university kind of just want us to show you. So if you just bear with me and then we'll move into the reading activity, which will be pretty fun, I think, and I think you guys will like it. All right, so without any further ado, and then I'll give you a copy of the presentation as well. Sorry, my laptop's a little bit slow today after years of online teaching. All right, so it's about strategies for success, which is a module aimed to assist you in your learning. Okay, it will also help you develop key skills and build confidence in undertaking university study. So there are a series of optional modules, which I'll give you some links for, which can help you with your study once you complete this little academic English preparation course that I'm doing with you. So just a few things, and most of you have fairly extensive university experience, but the university also likes to, well, academic experience too, but the university likes to remind future students of important things like transitions to universities, academic learning and writing skills, the importance of plagiarism and integrity, assessment expectations, and the like. Okay, so thinking about these modules can help you succeed in your study and develop key skills that you need in early and later stages of study. They can also help you develop confidence in university study, identify and support for any barriers you may be facing in learning. So that whether that be financial or whether that be physical in terms of, your house or workplace being noisy or having any sort of parental obligations or extra work commitments or anything like that, and also getting you started. So these services can help you once you do begin your certificate. Okay, so just think about them as extra avenues and extra options of supports. So transition to university. Okay. So one big thing that students or prospective students have when they come to university is they've got sort of expectations, and then sometimes these expectations are met, sometimes they're not, sometimes they are a little bit, and sometimes they aren't a little bit. Okay, so but everybody has expectations before they begin something, and then you need to kind of come to terms with those as you study. Let's look at the third point. When you have studied, what help and support have you needed? Would anyone like to think of any ideas?
For me, more time. If you have kids.
More time?
Well,
Yeah.
for
Okay,
me,
so yep, so you might be identify and support any barriers you may be facing. So that might be relevant to you. Okay, time management. Yeah, good, thank you. Anyone else?
yeah, for me,
Writing. Oh, spelling.
Writing and spelling.
Yes.
Yes, writing and spelling. Yes, but
For
can
me-
you spell sale?
Yes. SALE. Easy.
Yeah, okay. So long as you can spell sale and put it in your GPS, then you're fine.
Exactly. But the problem is sometimes you search something in sale using Google, and it comes up like, are you looking for to sell house or to buy?
Yeah. Okay. Houses for sale, sale items,
Yeah.
discount items. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I
can
think
imagine.
financial support also.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. Well, that's right. Academic study requires, time, and sometimes that time means money.
Mm.
Yep.
for me,
Yep.
for me, the most help that I needed back in college was group
Yep.
study.
Yep.
I enjoy group study when I have like 4 to 5 friends sitting down to study subject together, review it, help each other. Very difficult subject like electromagnetic theory, all these kind of subjects need
Oof,
people
sounds
to
difficult.
study. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was the most iconic time in my study time. Studying
Yeah.
together with people. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah. One of my previous experience when I was doing my master, it is very hard subjects, and what we do, me and two friends, is each weekend sit together and share information and help each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. So it sounds like, and I've seen this from going into the breakout rooms and just with, from talking with you guys, you seem like very team oriented, team player kind of people. And that can certainly help you with study. I mean, there's a lot of research about collaborative learning and the positive effects that has on learning outcomes, and shared knowledge. So yeah, that's wonderful. I would encourage you throughout your professional and academic careers to seek knowledge from your classmates and peers as much as possible. So that's really good. So I guess that could be the support you need, peer support.
Excellent.
Yeah, good, great. And yeah, often just the last point is important as well. People often enter a field of study because they want it to impact their career, hopefully positively. And that's a big sort of impetus and motivating factor for people studying. Cool. So in Australia, we like to think of university life and experience reasonably positively. Obviously, over the past 2 years, and it's sort of ongoing. It's owing to campus closures and distant learning and things like that. It's been a little bit more difficult, but generally they are places and institutions where they prioritize learning and discovery. Universities are changing. you can still learn a lot from going to university. They're generally pretty fun places, I think. I think most of us have had at least some positive experiences at university. It's not always fun and easy. You know, sometimes content can be difficult. Sometimes time management can be difficult. Sometimes writing can be difficult. Sometimes there are financial pressures that make things difficult as well. But yeah, generally it's regarded as a positive sort of environment and place where you can make friends, you know, through the social aspects of university and also through collaborative projects, working together, sharing knowledge. And just, I guess you guys have the shared, you know, the shared experience of moving to Australia, and you've got the shared professional backgrounds in the fields that you are in. But most of you are, you know, you are from different countries and different cultures and different language groups as well. So they are a place where you can celebrate diversity. And one excellent thing about Swinburne is that it is a very multicultural learning environment and quite dynamic in that regard. And it's something that we're very proud of here. Obviously, you are professionals in your fields, but you are doing further study to become even more professional and to master your discipline even further. Okay. And all of this leads to contributing towards your profession and to society and to Victoria, I think is what you've done. Some of you have even moved from Sydney to Melbourne because you want to contribute to Victoria so much. So yes, that's I think that's good. I think, and that's one thing I love about teaching and working in education is knowing that I feel like I've made, you know, when I finish work for the day, I hope I've made a positive contribution at least to someone else. And I think you guys are all doing that as well. All right. I guess some of that comes with expectation too when you study at university. We generally view people in high regard. If they are an expert in a particular field of knowledge or professional practice, and usually that knowledge is taught from university. So that's worth remembering as well. All right. So when you make a transition to university, generally in Australia, you go to high school. And then when you're at high school, sometimes you have a part-time job in addition to schoolwork. Then sometimes you have the combination of schoolwork and parenting, and then undergraduate to postgraduate transition. And sometimes some people go from foundation to university programs. Would anyone like to share their journey through university?
Yeah, sure. For me,
Yep, go on.
Rami can go. That's fine.
Yeah, I guess in ours it's like starting until high school, and then from high school we go to the uni. And I didn't work while I'm studying in the uni, so I didn't have to. So after uni, we start like going to next level if you want to proceed to master degree or start working. But foundation to university program, we have a foundation, but not everyone take it. Like it depends about your high school marks. The higher high school marks you have, the chance that you don't need the foundation to university program.
Yep, that's pretty much the same as in Australia, or in Victoria at least. Kind of varies between states, but yep. Cool, good. Thank you. Would anyone else like to share?
Yeah, I think like Rami said, it was, you know, at that time during the semester started, we weren't working. Like for me, I was only working during the summer. And when I was working at the university, so I was still living in, on campus, living the campus atmosphere. But I think it was just the most stress-free period, because the biggest worry you have at that time was getting your assignment done. And so yeah, it was stress-free, meeting a lot of people from different backgrounds, all just having fun and care for each other, at least making good friendship. I think the truest friendships you can make is during uni, and was very memorable and important period at that time.
Yeah, wonderful.
I would definitely do it again at any time. Yeah, and hopefully we get to experience some of that at Spoonburn.
Yeah, I hope you guys do as well. That's nice. That's a nice positive reflection. Yeah, I mean, university years are some of the formative years. So yeah, you develop strong memories. Yeah, I mean, it can be a tough experience for people as well, but it can also be, yeah, it can really bring people together, and you can form really unique and powerful friendships. And I think that's something worth remembering. All right. Cool. So at Swinburne, I think what you'll see is teaching staff will have different education backgrounds. Some will have PhDs, some will have masters, some will have been educated in Australia, others will have been educated all across the world. But that's good because you can sort of have a variety of different perspectives from different teachers, which will make your learning experience even more unique. Obviously, diverse cultures, lots of different people from different places. Generally, the classes are pretty small, which is, I think, good, especially in face-to-face kind of contexts where I don't know, you can sort of feed off peers and you can feed off your teacher a little more easily. Generally, lectures are larger. You'll also learn how to use the learning management system, which is Canvas, Turnitin, and plagiarism. Does anyone know what Turnitin is?
Yeah, we do. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
We met it in university level.
Yes. So yeah. So for those that are unfamiliar with Turnitin, so this might be important when you are writing any reports at university. Basically, you submit your work and Turnitin analyzes your work and then produces what's called a similarity score. A similarity score basically compares your work with other works that have been submitted or published at university or through academic journals or on the internet, and it's basically a way of monitoring plagiarism. Yeah, but it's good. You can submit it and then sort of see how unique your work is, and it's quite satisfying when you produce a report and there's a 0% Turnitin. Though often Turnitin scores are higher than people want because the reference list can often produce very similar scores, because often reference lists are exactly the same. In fact, if you are, I'm not sure what reference list engineering or construction would use, but in education, they use the APA 7 referencing systems, the American Psychological Association, version 7. They keep updating it. So my view is that your reference list should be similar to other people's reference lists, because that means you are doing your referencing correctly. So if my reference list is the same as someone who's published something in, a peer-reviewed academic journal, then that's probably, if I'm putting in the entry correctly, that's probably a good thing.
But I guess it's hard to make it to 0, similarity with any other work.
Yes.
If it's you creating something new from not existed before, yes, okay, but basically you have to have some reference.
Yeah, for sure. And also, you shouldn't be spending too much time paraphrasing. But yes, it is. Yeah, it is possible.
I think there is minimum limit in the algorithm to be accepted. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you do the Turnitin score, anything below 10% will be blue. Anything between 10 to 20 is green, and then orange is maybe 20 to 30, and then red is like 40. So it's like the colors indicate there's like a visual representation of what's acceptable and what's not. But yeah, I mean, it's different for different, like for writing focused subjects, you know, like liberal arts, law, education. It's probably more acceptable to have a lower Turnitin score, but for scientific subjects where you are consistently citing other people's work, there's probably a bigger margin for error and therefore a higher permissible Turnitin score. Yeah. Anyway, don't worry. Your tutor or your tutor and lecturer for your subjects will sort of, you know, they'll reliably inform you about what's acceptable and what's not as you move through your study. All right, so there'll be self-directed learning as well, sort of homework and asynchronous tasks, which are common experience at university through Canvas. Assessment deadlines, they're everybody's favorite. Assessment standards. You all seem like very aspirational, hardworking people, so I'm sure you set yourself quite high assessment standards. And then the last point, learning and challenging ideas. So this is what makes the university experience unique as well. The idea of challenging ourselves to, you know, extend beyond the current knowledge we possess into new knowledge. And as a few of you have pointed out, this can be activated to a greater extent through collaboration and peer work. Cool. So some of you mentioned some common barriers to learning, writing, written skills, spelling. Okay. Perhaps there are some cultural differences in attitudes towards education. In some cultures, students rarely question the teacher's ideas or the teacher's conceptions or perceptions of an idea. Whereas I would like to think in an Australian context, students are welcome to question. Yeah, you can come in. Yeah. Students are welcome. Sorry, just some students walked in. Yes, you're welcome to have a discussion with the teacher, or you're welcome to present an alternative perspective. And we welcome that. Well, I certainly do. For those of you that have studied in Australia as well, we often have a lot of discussions and interactions. You will have noticed already that I like to put students in groups so that they can talk with each other and share ideas and, you know, have an enjoyable time while learning. I think if you can enjoy learning, then you will probably achieve your learning outcomes in a more constructive and positive and sustainable way, which is really important. Obviously, attendance, some things are unavoidable, medical issues, parental issues, work issues. But if you are having any attendance issues, or you are simply not enjoying your course, then it's important that you talk with your supervisor at work, or with your tutor, or with your lecturer. Okay. Time spent outside the classroom and learning. Okay, so yes, learning outside of the classroom is important. It helps solidify knowledge and build on the ideas that are covered in class. However, we don't want students spending way too much time on this. You do have other things to do. You need to entertain your hobbies. You need to visit your family. You need to go on day trips. You need to go fishing. You need to play soccer. You need to do cooking. You know, like you've got to have a balanced life. Plagiarism we just covered. Okay, so time management. One of you before mentioned time management. This is a big one. My recommendation with time management is as soon as you receive an assignment, I think it's always good to start doing it. Get on with it. If you can get the assignment completed before the due date, that will relieve you of the burden of stress for the assignment. And often when you finish something early, you can leave it, let it sit for 1 or 2 days, then you can come back to it and do a review and check. And that's, I think, a really good way, especially with written work, because sometimes when the dust settles, so to speak, and you review your work again and you look at it, you can sort of clearly see areas that might need a little bit of touching up or improvement. I mentioned this before about cultural differences and education methods. Please don't be shy when you're asking questions. Okay. You are entitled to ask questions and you are entitled to receive answers. All right. Cool. And you guys are, I'm sure some of you are missing aspects of your previous lives before you moved to Australia, but you're all fairly well established in Australia now, which is good. All right. Cool. So we'll do this little activity. All right. I'll send. If you could take a screenshot, and then I'll put you in some groups for 5 minutes, and you can discuss these 2 questions. What aspect of learning was most engaging? I might take a screenshot too, so I can type it in. What aspects of learning was most engaging? How did you use your strengths, personal and academic, to succeed? All right. As in little groups, you can take a screenshot, or better yet, what I'll do is I'll share a link. Anyone with a link. Might be making a little bit of a mockery of Swinburne's intellectual property here, but I trust you. Do you trust me? Please say yes.
Yeah, we trust you. 100%.
Good. Okay. So complete the discussion. And the discussion questions were, I'm just putting the instructions in the chat. What aspects of learning was most engaging? Engaging for you in your previous study? And how did you use your personal and academic strengths to succeed? Were most engaging. Subject-verb agreement. They made a mistake. Here is my English teacher policing coming through. All right, cool. You guys, 5 or 6 minutes to complete this. You might want to think about things you want to improve as well. I know when I studied when I began my undergraduate degree, I probably spent too much time socializing and not enough time attending classes. And looking back on that, I've become a much more dedicated professional and a much more dedicated student in postgraduate study. I certainly wasted a lot of time. I was, however, only 18. So I attribute this to immaturity and seeking enjoyment ahead of knowledge. But this is a common tale among young, silly, idiotic Australian men. All right. Awesome, guys. Two groups of 5. All right, opening you up now. Omar, I will assign you. Go in room 5.
Because of the internet connection, I just looked.
You escaped. You don't want to talk about your personal and academic strengths.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, your internet connection, I think, might be pretty weak because your face is very blurry. Noel. I'll be done in 40 minutes. I'm just teaching the Epic guys. So. He called me about 4 times when I was in the physio, and then I said, sorry, I was at the physio. Now I've got sessions. I didn't see him. He sent me a photo of him eating McDonald's. I don't know where. It might have been at the Glenferrie one. He didn't. You can just send him a message on Teams. Ahmed, you escaped.
Hello. I don't know why I got disconnected.
I'll move you to a different room. See if that helps.
Yep.
Hopefully it does.
To be continued, guys.
Yeah, to be continued. It was a very wonderful conversation to you guys.
What did you guys talk about? I'm joking. You don't have to tell me that.
I was having chat with intelligent guys in our group. Sorry, everyone is intelligent. Sorry, everyone is intelligent. But I enjoyed the chat.
Intelligent, Abdullahi.
We were talking about our suffering.
Oh, I'm a very dull person. I was just listening to them.
That's good, man.
We just talked with Rami and other people in the group that we study too much. We did lots of things in our undergraduate.
You've done many things, yeah, definitely.
All right. Sorry, go on.
Now I was gonna say to you, Ashley.
Cool. Yeah. No, I'm here. I'm here now. I went missing. My Microsoft Teams kicked me out of my own event. Clearly a little unpopular with Microsoft Teams today. Yeah, some really interesting discussions. I went around to each room and I thought you made some really valuable contributions. So thank you. Would anyone like to share any of their experiences quickly?
Sure. If you could just help me with the questions again. Sorry. The first one was.
Yep. So the first one was just in the chat. What aspects of learning were most engaging for you in your previous study?
Yes. So I'll go with that one.
Yep.
In my experience, it was the part where I had to, or when I needed to research something, like write, for example, 1,000 to 2,000 words about a tower that's been built somewhere, and what's unique about it, what challenges were faced, how would they overcome, and so on. And that part was the most engaging because, as I was telling my team in the room we were in, it forced me to, challenge myself to look for the answers, and it also triggers your creativity to collect ideas, connecting them and presenting them in a understandable and coherent manner. So
yep.
So that's
great. Okay, so researching and learning new things and then compiling that new knowledge into written work. Yeah, great. Cool. Awesome. Thanks for that. Anyone else?
I'll go. I guess what benefits me from studying in a uni mostly making friends with people who attend classes and understand what's going on, mostly the nerds, what we call them. Yes. Yeah. So they helped you a lot, especially in not all of them, but the majority. So when a group discussion, for example, we meet for study, we have an exam in a second day or in a couple of days. So we meet all of us and everyone start solving questions together. So it makes you keep them to make you memorize what's happening and understand it more clearly than studying by yourself.
Yeah.
So that's the way I like to engage. It's in a study rather than studying by myself. It's more boring and more stressful.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So there's a social and sort of enjoyment aspect of study as well, being around other people, and then reduces stress and you can share knowledge. Yeah, absolutely. Love it. Cool. All right, great. What about question 2 about personal and academic strengths for success? Would anyone like to share their answers, or would anyone like to share any new insights from their classmates?
Well, as I will say this because I tested the goodness of this, and I will always keep encouraging my friends and colleagues, is work hard and also work together. You know, two heads are better than one, and I've tested that during my degree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Meet
Yep.
with each other, catch up with each other during the weekend, create Zoom meeting, call your colleagues, create Zoom meeting, catch up with each other, do as study together, not to copy each other in assignment, of course, but share ideas, what you think and how you want to carry out this project. It will not only make your life easy, but it will give you broad knowledge. As you are teaching, you are actually learning also. If you are teaching your colleague, Mr. B, you are actually learning from your own mistake. One way or the other, you will realize that you have some little mistake that you will correct by yourself or your colleague will correct you. So to be more successful and to be happy is work together in a team. That's the strength that I want to share.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Collaboration, working together, a willingness to meet.
Yeah.
Strong work ethic.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other ideas? Thank you for that, Dolahi. That was great.
I guess learning from seniors.
Yes.
So who's
Yep.
the senior? You go the senior, you ask them a question, how they solve. If you have a problem with, like, for example, a teacher, you say like, oh, how's this teacher? How you guys handle it? You can get so much information from seniors before you start choosing what you want.
Yeah, that's right. But the wisdom passed on from experience,
yes,
can definitely be useful. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I don't think there's any point beginning the reading activity because it takes quite a long time and our discussions were quite detailed. So I think we might finish a little bit earlier so you can go and get a nice little morning tea break. And you can escape your managers and just tell them that you are doing other things. Please don't report me to your managers either.
no strict.
Or to my director of studies.
No, you are in the circle of trust, Ashley.
Ah, very good. Very
Yes.
good. I did ask you if you trusted me before. Cool. All right. So what we will do is we will begin Monday's lesson with the reading. Thank you for your contributions and for your discussions and for your enthusiasm and your engagement and your interest in the material and the activities. It's greatly appreciated. I wish you all a very good morning and a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday. If you have any questions, please send me an email. Otherwise, thanks.
Thank you, Ashley.
Yes,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you,
everyone.
Have a lovely weekend. All the best, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
You all as well.
Thank you.
Bye.